What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, Austin here, and we're going to be taking a look at some new gameplay that just dropped for the upcoming mystery first-person shooter, Industria. You'll be in the driver's seat of a woman looking for her lost colleagues in an alternate dimension. This alternate dimension is pretty much out to kill you. There are machines and robots everywhere, and you're trying to unravel a mystery as to what's going on here and why exactly they're out for blood. From what we've seen of the gameplay and what we know from the developers, they are taking heavy inspiration from the Half-Life series and Bioshock. So already, they're promising to set themselves up to a pretty high bar. So hopefully we can expect that same kind of fluid combat and fun gunplay when the game launches. Speaking of combat, from what we know, the gunplay looks really fun, incredibly tactile, and the guns kind of give me a Metro Exodus vibe, or generally from the whole Metro series. As far as the setting goes, we know that this is set just before the end of the Cold War, and you're going to be in East Berlin, but in an alternate dimension. So everything has kind of an eerie environment to it. It's quiet, you feel alone, kind of isolated, and you can tell from the gameplay that we've seen that you're clearly searching for ammo and you're smashing crates with a pickaxe, so that sense of loneliness is heavily present. From what we've seen of the enemy types, we know that there are 3 introduced in the new gameplay. The first of which is the Hound. This is a pack animal, I should say robot or machine, that leads with an alpha, so there's one that is going to have an impact over the others. Hopefully you can manipulate that in combat. They use saws to get the advantage over you, and they're highly aggressive. So tight corridors are going to be a pain in the ass. Up next is the Optic. This is a suppressive machine that pretty much uses a machine gun to just pile on the bullets to keep you from poking your head out anywhere to get the advantage. What we saw in the gameplay, you had to be incredibly precise and incredibly fast with high reflexes in order to tackle these optics. The last enemy that we saw in the trailer was a robot, kind of like what we see in the beginning with the optics, but instead they have kind of like a cage built around their torso, which adds this really creepy effect. They almost look like if zombies were robots. Unfortunately, we didn't get a name for this enemy type, but we know that they linger around corners and are not afraid to chase you down dark corridors. And speaking of corridors, the majority of the gameplay that we saw took place in an old apartment complex, and they're promising fun and new areas to explore. In the beginning of the gameplay, we did see some lush environments, so we know that we're going to get that kind of Last of Us vibe, where we're getting a lot of greens and a lot of those darker textures. All in all, guys, Industria looks incredible, and I can't wait for it. We saw a lot of fun gameplay, and it shows a lot of promise. It has a lot to live up to with the inspiration. Bioshock and Half-Life are monsters of games, so hopefully we get that later this year. Here's hoping that we see more come E3 2021, and if we do, you can bet that we'll be covering it here on the channel. So if you guys want more coverage on Industria, make sure to stay tuned. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell us what you thought of the gameplay reveal. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.